Welcome everybody to Dear World of Tank Commander. This is episode 0, which is our pilot episode, our first episode. Serves also as a demo to kind of show the rest of the clans what we're doing with this series. Our first clan that we'll be interviewing would be Kare Bears. And with us is the commander of Kare Bears, which is Dirg. Dirg, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me here, Tzimon. I appreciate it.
Okay, so for those who don't know who Kare Bears is or who Dirg is, Kare Bears started as a group of guys from Global Agenda. They came over to World of Tanks. They didn't really find a clan that really fit in with what they were doing, so they decided to start their own. So starting with a handful of guys, they quickly developed a reputation of being kind of like a shock force crack team. Able to bust the hardest LZs or break the hardest defense. So until recently, Kare Bears have never had more than 25 players on their active roster, but despite this, they've made major contributions to the Clan Wars map, and they've been in every major conflict on the North American server since the founding. So a lot of kudos for a pretty small clan that isn't the top 3 or top 5, but they've definitely contribute. So we'll start off by asking Dirg, how old is the clan?
At this point, we're at 450 days.
That puts it almost 2 years now, yeah.
Yeah, just about 2 years. Just a couple of months after the Clan War servers opened.
So, about how many people are in your community these days?
Including Kare Bears and Kare Bear Cousins, which is currently at this point just a holding place for people with lower tier tanks. We're sitting right around 100 active members.
And what type of demographics are we talking about? I mean, like where are your players coming from in the world?
The vast majority of players are North America, the United States, and Canada. We do have a small sprinkling of guys from other parts of the world, but I probably know more than anybody else at this point. And for the most part, they're middle-aged to older retirement age guys. We do have a few, high school and college age, but the vast majority of the clan's actually older.
Okay, so kind of a mature clan.
Mature's probably a bit harsh for Kare Bears.
I guess you can't really call any clan mature when their name is Kare Bears, right?
Well, not taking yourself too serious is probably one of the best things you can do in this game. So is Kare Bears a World of Tanks only clan?
Does your clan have a strong presence in any other game?
No, we're only a World of Tanks clan, and we don't really have any interest. We're not big on communities as far as having a bunch of different chapters and a bunch of different games. We play other games together just for fun, but we kind of believe that if you're going to do something right, you focus on the game that you're playing, and if you decide you don't want to do that anymore, you up and move. You don't split your attention. It's just the way we do.
Sounds fair enough. So tell us a little bit about the hierarchy of the clan. The positions, the leadership.
The clan is basically an absolute monarchy. I run it. I make all the final calls. However, I do listen to all the members' input and just to get a feel of what they think we should do. I value everybody's opinions, and my deputy commanders and field commanders, kind of let me know what the down low is, and then at that point I'll make a decision on what we do.
So how are the decisions made? Can you tell us who else in the clan helps you, make these decisions, and the process of how a decision is made in the clan?
Well, I'll usually, if it's something that happens to happen right away, I will make the call for that. But if it's something that's all-encompassing or long-term, like a war declaration or a full-on alliance with someone or something like that, I'll talk to our field commanders. I'll talk to the deputy commanders on their feelings on how they feel it, since they'll be doing a large amount of the work for any of that kind of thing to make it go. And then of course I usually just will randomly grab some of the guys in the clan to just kind of get a feeling of what the the Joe on the street kind of membership feel that's a good or not good idea, and then I just make my choice at that point based on the feeling overall in the clan and our requirements and commitments that we've made to other clans and people.
Okay. And now this next question, not everybody likes to talk about it, but everybody thinks about it when they're looking for a clan. How does your clan distribute the gold to its members? What system do you guys use?
Currently, the way we do our gold distributions, we do a payday once a week. And if you're set on the payday list, then you get paid. The payday list is based on Clan Wars contribution. If you're on a Clan Wars team fighting Clan Wars fights, you get paid every week. We know that obviously sometimes people have vacations, family, job, whatever. So we find that doing it in a rostered system where you pay somebody based on their long-term contributions, there's no reason to punish a guy because he had to work overtime, even though he spent 2 months when we weren't making a lot of gold that he was on every night. So we like that way better rather than just paying people nightly if they show up or not.
Okay, makes sense. Is your clan currently recruiting right now?
We're always recruiting, always looking for good players. Not being one of the big boys that's recognized by everybody as the super elite clan, we always are looking for quality players who want to be part of a good team and get into Clan Wars or try something new to what they've seen before.
And what are your recruiting requirements? What standards do you guys set for your recruit?
What we normally look for is a 55% win ratio and a couple of tier 10 tanks. But that's more of a guideline than a rule. In this day and age, it's not particularly difficult to pad stats or your win rate, between the tank companies and just people in general. It's just your nature to try to get those good stats. So we find it's actually more important to play with the player and let them prove that they can play if they have the will and drive to try to do that. Find that that's a better way, since I don't have the luxury to only take people with 60 plus win percentages and 2,000 win sevens and all that good stuff. That's really the way we go, and that way we don't miss out on those players that the bigger clans may overlook.
So what type of advice can you give to new tankers that want to join your clan?
Well, the easiest advice is come by our TS. It's open. Our information is public. We have most of our channels open to the public. Most of our membership have come by and played with the rest of the clan for a while, got to know people before they decided they wanted to be there. It's the kind of attitude that we really want from players. Is it's not just a team to play for Clan Wars. It's also a group of guys that you want to hang out with every night, regardless. So just come by and hang out with us and show us that you can play.
So how did Kare Bears come about? Can you tell us how it was founded and what events caused it to be founded?
Well, when we first got into World of Tanks, there was just a handful of us, and we joined another clan because we were playing another game. And like I said earlier, we don't like to split our attention between other games to be competitive. So we joined a clan that was more of a social clan when we first started playing the game. So we played with them for a little bit. Then we decided to focus on World of Tanks, and when we did that, it was obvious that that clan was no longer going to be, you know, the right fit for us. So we looked around and joined a couple of other clans. We tried one. They weren't really what we were looking for. We joined another one that was a good clan that stepped wrong of the old NASA alliance. And after some fighting with all of that, decided that that group of guys was not the kind of people we really wanted to play with. So we, 704 behind you. So we decided to start our own clan up, though our experiences at the NASA at that point kind of put us in the commando frame of mind in a bit of the anti-establishment group.
Oh, come on, man. Light the guy up.
Penetration.
Sorry about that. So,
Right.
what one thing can you say was the catalyst that allowed your clan to just kind of, separate itself from the hundreds of other clans that are out there that's just struggling to even be on the map, much less be pretty successful?
Well, basically, the early success for our clan was a 100% because what we did was did all of our recruiting out of the old classic tank companies. We got to play with people in their tier 10 tanks, and we made kind of a reputation, just the 4 or 5 of us, of being highly competitive at that point. And once that reputation got out there, we attracted some really quality players, good enough that within a couple of months of the clan's founding, we were taking gold pops with a membership of 19, and most of the people on the clan had never even played Clan Wars before. So we were pretty proud of that, and that would have been the big kick that got us started and gave us our initial reputation.
Yeah, I think I remember that period that you had with the tour that you had.
Yeah. That was the one that really got us out there, was the world tour. When we decided we were going to hit every gold pot on the European map, and basically just started in the Med and worked our way north and took every gold pot on the map. I think the only ones that we didn't take were Switzerland, and we did not take Moscow, because there was a young upstart clan fighting Phoenix Company for it, and we decided we liked those guys, so we let them alone. That would have been the beginnings of G.
Yeah, how far they've come, huh?
Yeah.
So, list the 5 your 5 greatest accomplishments as a clan.
Well, probably the first thing was the first thing in our history is when we first started taking land, and we didn't even have 2 chip stacks worth of player base. That's probably one of our big thing, because there's a lot of clans with 100 members that can't take land, and we were doing it with a much smaller number. Let's see. When we took Brandenburg from ROTA, back when ROTA was one of the powerhouses on the map, I think they had it for 450-ish plus days, and we took that from them. That was a pretty big deal.
Yep.
They were one of the last big standouts from the NASA.
Yeah, back then ROTA was they had the legendary hard camps, that nobody could break.
Yeah, you don't mess with ROTA on city maps. They were beast. That was a big thing for us, which was why we went after them on it, because we knew that would be something you could say you did. I mean, those who knew that they did a great job on that map, especially back in their prime. We've made it on the leaderboards quite a few times, off and on, and we always did that with less than 50 people in the clan, much less 50 active people. So it reinforces you can do a lot with a small group if you wanted to. At least you could once upon a time. But probably the biggest accomplishments for us is the fact that we've built the clan from nothing by going and following the way we believe it should be done and the way we believe people should be playing Clan Wars. And we did it the hard way, but it was the way we wanted it done. And a lot of clans have come and gone. A lot of clans have been the best or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's almost 2 years and we're still here doing what we want to do.
All right, that's quite an impressive list of accomplishments there. Can you give us the lowest moment in your clan?
The lowest moments probably would be the advent of the tank locking in the 8.5. We put a lot of work building a second clan to counter the creation of all these leagues and large groups like the Burning Legion and Petco, the Relic family of clans. There's a lot of big group clans. So to counter that, we created Kare Bear Cousins and put a lot of work into building 2 viable clans that fielded viable Clan Wars teams, and the tank locking 8.5 pretty much overnight made that completely invalid and threw away a lot of hard work and a lot of time by a lot of people, and that was pretty demoralizing for the clan in general.
So, because of the tank locking, and also as the result of your accomplishments throughout the 2 years of Clan Wars, how do you feel that both the highs and the lows kind of came together to make your clan what it is today?
Well, I think at the end of the day, anytime you go through a lot of trials and tribulations as a group, those who stay are the ones that you can rely on when the chips are down. Those guys are going to be there for you, not just for the good times, but for the bad times. And, that's hard to find in a game, because everybody, usually goes for the path of least resistance and what they can do the best. So that the guys that are with you for the long haul, and they're going to put in the work, and they're going to do the time for you. And that's probably the biggest thing we've got from all of that.
Yeah, having loyal guys that'll stick with you through thick and thin is, it's hard to find, and when you find it, it's you definitely want to try to keep that. So, what is the most important thing for your clan? What is its goal?
Well, at the end of the day, everybody wants to be competitive. Everybody wants free gold. Everybody wants a big rep so that everybody, all the guys in the pub matches, they'll come and say, "Ooh, you're in whatever clan." But at the end of the day, for us, the most important thing is just for the guys in the clan to have fun. That's what it's really about. It's a game. We all play the game, and I didn't want another job. I want a game. So it's all about just having a good time and having fun. And while it may be that most of our fun is had by winning matches, that's still, it's still about the fun. And if you're not having fun, then to me, you're just not doing it right.
That sounds like a pretty good objective. So what is your clan currently doing right now on the Clan Wars map?
Right now, we just merged 2 clans into one. We had to merge KBK over, as I spoke earlier about the tank locking. It forced us to do that, so we're kind of in a rebuild and reorganize phase. But even though we're doing that, we're still trying to stay involved in the Purple Dawn War, as it were. So we're still actively involved in the Burning Legion War and trying to support the other clans that are fighting with us just the best we can, while we get ourselves together and progress to where we need to be.
We're immobilized.
What do you think your clan will be doing, in say 3 months or in 6 months, without telling us any top secret information or anything like that?
Well, in general, I mean, we're just going to keep trying to build the team back up to where we're used to playing. We're not playing at the level of play that we've accustomed ourselves to playing at. So it's a big deal for us to get back to that play and um, to make sure that everybody is getting what they're looking for out of the clan. And so that's really the big thing for us is just to get back to that gameplay and that level that we're used to playing at.
So, as a commander, personally, and well, what do you think is the most important thing for you as the commander?
To be honest, the most important thing for me personally is to make sure that the clan membership is happy and having a good time. I mean, these guys taking a hobby that they spend a lot of time and money on, and put a lot of investment of themselves into it, and then they join my clan. They're saying, "This is what I do for fun. I'm putting you in charge of my fun." So, I mean, you can take that lightly or not, but I mean, that's a big deal. So for me, the most important thing is to make sure that they're happy and they're getting what they want to the best of my ability to provide it.
And how many hours per week do you say you put into, running your clan and kind of managing your guys' fun?
Probably all things said, just working on the clan stuff, I probably spend somewhere between 20 and 30 hours working on diplomacy, strats, practices, all that good stuff.
So 20 to 30 hours a week?
Yeah, depending on what we're going to do, but probably 20 to 30 hours a week. Just me personally, not including the deputy commanders or just hanging out in Diplo channels or stuff like this, which is, not really work.
Okay. And what would you say would be the largest mistake that you've made as a clan commander?
Probably my biggest mistake was not really planning our clan to be set up to succeed when the tank locking came in. We all knew that it was coming. I did not think they were going to implement it in the way that they did. So I really did not prepare us the way I could have or should have before it happened. And I regret that. Looking back, that's probably the worst thing that I've done.
So can you give us, can you give any clan commanders that are, looking at trying to build a new clan or just getting started, what type of advice could you give to these guys?
Well, the first thing that I would tell someone who wants to start up their own clan is not to start up your own clan. It is an amazing amount of work, and unless you have a tried and true core of committed players that are going to help you out every along the way, your own support group you're bringing it to, it's not going to happen. And all you're going to do is make yourself miserable and probably ruin the game for you. I think really, if you've convinced yourself that you absolutely want to do it, then you got to make sure that you find that support class. You have to find those guys that are going to be there for you and help you make it go, because you just simply can't do it yourself. It's too much work for any one person.
Right.
And you'll either burn out or quit.
What do you guys do between yourself and your deputy commanders to help avoid the burnout? I mean, you guys have been doing this for about 2 years now. I can imagine it starts to wear on you after a while.
We definitely try to spread the responsibility out. I know a few times when I've gotten really burned out, I've voiced it, and just various members of the clan who aren't in leadership have stepped up and said, "Hey, what else can I do?" So a lot of that is having a clan that can rally around you and help you out when you start to get that dragged down. But for me, it's personally, I like to play some other games that are completely opposite and different from World of Tanks, or spend some time with the family, or go to the beach, stuff like that. Remember that there's a world outside of the tank world that you can go and be a part of, and it's okay.
In Clan Wars, There's lots of tanks, and everybody has their opinions on what is the most OP or whatever. What do you feel is the most undervalued tank?
The most undervalued tank has got to be the IS-4. I've heard too many people talk a lot of bad things about the IS-4, and at the end of the day, the IS-4 is an amazing machine. It's got a ton of hit points, a phenomenal gun. The speed is pretty good. It is a great all-around tank, and used properly, I think that it's one of the best tanks that you can use in Clan Wars. And I see a lot of people who will tell you that it's completely worthless, and I just don't agree.
So why is Clan Wars important to Kare Bears?
Well, it's really what we're about. Clan Wars is what we do. To me, pub matches are a necessary evil to get the next tank. And they can be fun in small doses, but it's a marginal hobby of a game at best. Something like playing, solitaire. It's just really not something that you're gonna really hang your hat on doing. But organized 15v15 play, just the variety of tactics that you'll see, the teamwork, the accomplishments of being a good team with your guys, the comradeship, all that stuff is just, that's what it's about. That's what makes it fun.
What event in Clan Wars history do you think most impacts Clan Wars and makes it what it is today?
What single event? Has to be stand down civilian. I think that Speak incident probably changed more than anyone who doesn't know has any clue it did.
The phrase heard around the world, huh?
Oh yeah, that set off the war that set off the next war. It's like the World War II, World War III thing. It just World War I, World War II. There was just a pause in between, and that was the same thing. That event started the first one, and then that started the next one, and that just snowballed into most of the conflicts that we've engaged in since, in large scale on Clan Wars.
What part of the Clan Wars metagame do you feel is the most important?
Very easily, diplomacy is the most important. I think the whole Burning Legion Purple Dawn business right now will show that poor diplomacy and a bad attitude will bring down your organization, no matter how big or good you may be. That at the end of the day, you simply cannot be that way. You have to have good diplomacy, or it's going to cause you more grief than it's worth.
Yeah, a lot of people say that, hey, it doesn't matter, how you about the forums, or it doesn't matter what you say to people during pug matches or how you treat people. All it matters is winning battles. And it's you look at war after war, and you see clans that win battles but lose wars. And so yeah, I think that's you make a really good point there.
Oh yeah, and if you look through, it's those hurt feelings. You upset this one guy that wasn't in a good clan and you didn't care, but all of that stores up. So when people actually start pushing chips on each other, you suddenly find out that you upset a lot more people than you thought. And while by themselves they weren't a big threat, but now all of a sudden you've created your very own block of enemies who are more than happy to jump on top of you and take advantage of your weakness.
So, of the Clan Wars features, which one feature do you think that Wargaming should focus on to improve the most?
I think they need to fix their tank locking system. It's a poor system, the way they've implemented it. I'm actually for tank locking. However, the way that they've put tank locking into the game essentially is killing clans. My clan is going to adapt and make it, but there are a lot of little clans and clans that don't even know yet that they don't stand a chance, that are trying to get into clan wars with their 15 guys that have one tier 10 tank. Yeah, they're not making it to the landing finals, but they're never going to get past them. And once they realize that they can only play clan wars once a week, they're going to quit and dissolve. and that's going to in the long run hurt all of us, because as those who get burned out and tired of the game quit, there's no new faces coming in, because it's just too disheartening to even try.
Yeah, I can see that. It's definitely something that they'll have to address one way or another. Which kind of leads me to the next question. Patch 8.5 brought a bunch of new features. It brought tank locking, it brought riots, a bunch of new tanks, and a bunch of actually one map. Do you think that these changes move Clan Wars in the right direction? And explain.
Well, I think conceptually it was a good idea. Riots is a method to control how big clans can get, how much land they can hold. So in a sense, they're creating more room, which that's a good thing. And tank locking is supposed to cause more variety. What they failed to address when they did all that was the fact that we don't have enough clans on the NA server for you to be able to remove that many tanks and have all that land to be open. There's no one there to fill those blanks. I mean, it doesn't work that way. So I think conceptually most of it was a good idea, but I think that they missed the boat on really how they should have done it.
Yeah,
so hopefully they'll tune it.
Yeah, I'm not completely against the tank locking, but I also see it from the side where, if you're a small clan or just you're a brand new guy to World of Tanks, you've just been playing for like 3-4 months, you got your first tier 10 heavy, you got this IS-7, it's awesome, you join a clan like Kare Bears, and you're really stoked about Clan Wars, and you go into a match and your tank blows up, and you can't play Clan Wars now for 7 days. So it's like, wow, okay, what do you do now, And how do you stay involved with the clan when, like, the whole, like in your case with Kare Bears, your clan is focused around Clan Wars. That's your thing, and that's what your primary goal is to be a Clan Wars clan. And now you can't participate in the most important thing in your clan. So it's I think that tank locking as an idea, as a concept, is great, but I don't know about the implementation. Just like you, I agree with you on a lot of points.
Yeah, I tell you, I told you I'm very concerned about people, enjoying themselves and having a good time, and I want them to not just, be playing with the clan, but enjoying playing with the clan. But I can tell you that nothing bothers me more than having to tell a guy that I can't bring him, or he's not welcome into Clan Wars because he only has an IS-8 to play. And so, I mean, I have plenty of tankers that can fill matches, and I can hang there with the big boys as far as all that goes, but it's not so much that. It's the same 30 guys will get to play every night, and everybody else gets to play once a week, and I really hate the idea that I have to tell members, sorry, see you next week, go grind tanks. And that's the only good answer I can give them.
Yeah. So, with the exception of tank locking, what do you think that Clan Wars or wargaming can do to keep clans like yourself, playing the game and keep on playing the game for another 2 years or more?
They just got to keep adding variety to the game. They've got to give us game modes. They've got to give us maps. Really, there's a lot more that you can do on the level of organized play that they're not, and they have a lot more they can do that they should.
Okay, and so coming up to our last question actually is Laz and Sneaky T1 deathmatch. Who you think is going to win?
Well, I think if you put them both in the middle of a circle, that Boz will kick Sneaky's ass. But if they both start in a training room on either side of the map, it's going to be a draw. Because Laws is too smart to take the crappy view range of a tier 1 and drive out in the middle of a field, and Sneaky's just going to hide in a bush and talk shit the whole time. So that's pretty much how it'll be.
All right, well, Dirge, thanks for coming by. Thanks for all the viewers. And we're going to have a YouTube of this and post it in the CRD soon. So thanks for stopping by, guys.
Hey, it was fun. I appreciate it. I hope this really takes off. I'd love to hear the thoughts and opinion of some of the other clan leaders.